Hey everybody, this is Justin, 1/3 of your Nerd News Cafe Power Trio. I wanted to let you know that what you're about to hear is the collected audio from our first ever live recording. On May the 6th, Landon, Matt, and I traveled down to Nerdvana, Knoxville, and really just set up to absorb the atmosphere. We got a chance to interact with the fans, we got a chance to see some awesome cosplay, and of course, maybe pick up a free comic book or two. We may have even dropped a few dollars on some that weren't free. We ended up gathering a lot of different audio pieces. It might jump around just a little bit, but what we plan to do is release these over the next several episodes. So we're going to kind of break from format a little bit, but we wanted to bring you everything that we got from being down there at the event. So I hope you enjoy these next several episodes, and I hope that you yourself got to get out on Free Comic Book Day and pick up some of those lovely treasures that you can get from your local comic book store. If you did, I'd love to hear what you got, and if you took some pictures of maybe some cosplay or some events that you went to, I'd love for you to share those. Make sure you do that on our Twitter account, @nerd_news_cafe. And I want to go ahead and thank everybody that took some time to talk to us. I want to thank That Midday Show and the Printed Panel podcast for helping us to cross-promote and being part of our show as well. We will get back to our regular format in a couple of weeks. Until then, enjoy, and we will see you on the social medias. Greetings!
Wow. I thought we were going to
Take two!
Who wasn't? That's what I want to know.
Whoa!
Whoa.
I jumped the shark. Finally, it's finally happening for me, guys. Puberty.
He's not a little boy.
Greetings, life forms, wherever you're receiving us. This is Justin.
And Matt.
And I'm insert clever nickname here, Landon Doe.
We are coming to you live from Free Comic Book Day down at Nerdvana, Knoxville. And
6907B Kingston Park.
thank you for the address drop. I'm glad you had that on tap.
Thank you, Google Maps.
Off the top of my head.
If you are local and you come down to the shop, of course, you're going to be hearing this after Free Comic Book Day.
Womp.
Yeah,
but
where are you?
the store will still be open next week,
We've
I
taken
promise.
names.
And going forward. So
We know who's not here.
Yeah, we have been taking roll. And
I'm
we,
looking at you, Carl.
Yeah, there's going to be a test that you missed. So.
Yeah. And if you're not here today, we expect to see you in the future. But if you want to come down, right now they don't have a sign up on the road, so it's a little bit hard to find.
6907B Kingston
I
Park.
recommend you look for Soccer Taco.
And then
That's
take
a good,
right.
Or left,
left.
depending on which way
Just
you're coming
into
from.
it.
Yeah. So
Ride the rails.
it's been an exciting day so far. There have been a lot of people come down to the shop. They have given away all of their free goodies. They've been doing a costume contest, I should say.
Uh-huh.
And they've got some other giveaways going on in the shop. You all unfortunately missed out on all that stuff because you weren't heeding our advice on Twitter to come down and visit us. Or maybe you did. And if you did, I'm not yelling at you.
Yeah, thanks. We're talking to everybody else. But you mentioned they are doing the costume contest. We've seen some really cool costumes today. We had the Smoky Mountain Ghostbusters here.
Uh-huh.
We've had Thor, Superman, Harley Quinn.
Yeah. There was there were several There were several Supermen. Supermans?
Soups.
How do you
Supermans.
pluralize Superman?
Soups.
Supermen's.
Soups.
There were Supermens that were down here, and Matt was excited about that, so they all ganged up on me and told me why Superman was the best and Batman was not.
Yeah, a lot of profanity. I didn't expect that. No, there was no
Not
profanity.
curse words if
except
you use
for
them in
me.
context.
They're sentence enhancers.
That's right.
Ooh, that's a fancy word.
Yeah.
And you might notice a little ambiance because, like Jay said, we are broadcasting live. That's the beautiful thing
That
about
is-
doing a live broadcast. You get to breathe it all in.
Literally, the car that was parked in front of our fourth microphone just backed out, so we got some some nice Foley work there.
That car did not want to talk.
I'm gonna say this, guys. If I just disappear for a moment, it's because I can see into the window of the free comics laid out on the table here, and
Stacks are
Star
getting
Trek
low.
comic is starting to get a little thin in the stack.
You might want to You might want to get in there before they're
Matt
all
Weaver
snatched
might
up.
have to go in there Rhino style.
If you go in there, get me East to West and the Rick and Morty comic because I really want
there's
to
a
read
Rick
the
and
Rick.
Morty
Yeah.
Yes, there is.
Oh my god!
I see Doctor Who sitting on that table. I see there's a Star Wars comic sitting on that
I
table.
believe that's Darth Vader #1, and I've read that comic. It is a fantastic story, and #1 is a obviously good jumping on point.
Yeah, there's a lot of good stuff.
Yeah, there's stuff I've never even heard of.
Here's a question:
Defender.
if you had to pick, I'm going to give you let's do a little a small tournament. Free Comic Book Day versus Memorial Day. Which one will you take? All due respect to veterans.
Oh God!
Is this really a question that needs
Okay,
to be
how about
in
this?
after post?
How about this? Free Comic Book Day versus Easter. All due respect to Jesus.
Oh God!
Jeez.
Literally.
I think the all due respects at the end of it make it
no,
horrid.
that you can say what you want as long as you say with all due respect.
Haven't you seen
It's
Talladega
true.
Nights?
That's,
Okay,
that's true. I forgot Ricky Bobby's rules.
Free Comic Book Day versus Thanksgiving. All due respect to dead turkeys.
I'm okay with that, and I'm gonna go with Free Comic Book Day because I can go get turkey anytime.
Yeah.
Here's a question: what about because a lot of people? Let me tell you, I got here before the store opened, and there was a line wrapping around this parking lot. I
Huge
couldn't find a
turnout.
place to park.
Brag.
So yeah, yeah, I'm bragging that I
He
couldn't
couldn't
find a place to park.
and I can literally see his vehicle from where we're sitting. Can you see mine?
Am I in a parking spot? No.
No, that is a legal parking spot because when everyone else does it, it becomes a legal parking spot.
But I want to compare it to another day that I can think of. People get up early, they go out, they line up for things. Would you be more apt to get up early, line up for Free Comic Book Day or Black Friday?
Ugh.
Oh, Free Comic Book Day all day.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm guaranteed the merchandise.
Okay.
And as a former retail worker, Black Friday was the worst.
All right. So I think we've decided Free Comic Book Day is better than Black Friday. It's better than Memorial Day. It's better than Easter and Thanksgiving.
Yeah, in your face Thanksgiving.
Yeah, you put all those together.
You
and
can stuff it.
And Free Comic Book Day is still the better option. Yeah.
Hard to argue with that.
Yeah.
Because, I mean, you could, if you decided you wanted to, like, randomly paint eggs for no apparent reason, you could do that today.
Don't you guys do that year round?
I do.
You can't do it year round. You can't get the pause year round, and it's pause or GTFO when it comes to egg coloring.
Well,
It's true. You want to talk about a company that stuck to their guns through the years. It's Pause.
It's their entire
And they
game.
haven't bled over into other holidays. Like, do they put out jack-o'-lantern carving kits?
That's a great question.
I don't think so.
I don't think so.
I think
Yeah.
they are strictly an Easter.
they're just like
They
we
make-
make our money one time a year.
Yeah.
They're almost like accountants. It's like tax season's coming, baby.
Time to bring in that sweet
They got that sweatshop that makes all the dyes.
Yeah, that's right.
And the plastic containers that never hold any of the liquid you need.
I've noticed that too.
It never holds a whole egg. Have you ever noticed it gets half the egg and you have to reach in there and get your fingers colored and turn it? And
no, you have to have the little egg dipper.
Yeah.
the less
Little wand thing.
the less than quality coat hanger they give you to turn that thing.
I love those things. I like
thing-
pretending like I'm torturing the egg and trying to get
Oh my
information out of
gosh.
it. I'm like, you will give up the
Do you own a
information,
magnifying glass
Mr.
and know where all
Bond.
the anthills in your yard are?
You are
too?
stomping on my joke.
I don't like your joke.
I wanted to do a bit.
No,
Bits are allowed.
no,
Man, it just got fun here.
I don't like your jokes. Now that we're out in the public where I feel safe that you won't bodily harm me.
I can still. We got this table. Landa did point. This is a perfect table to
It
get a
is the-
suplex through.
It is.
Yep.
Every time it's very flexible and it's just one of those ones that feels like it needs a body through it.
Yeah.
It definitely does have some give to it. So
If ever we upgraded to like a fancier table, we should put this one out in style by body slamming someone right through the middle of it.
1, 2, 3, not it. Yeah.
I'll be the slam E,
So
and Matt can probably be the slam
to save Justin's feelings, go ahead and tell us all your Easter jokes.
No, I'm done.
No,
We're
no,
done. We're
let
moving
me,
on.
Let me hear
This
more
is not
about
the
how you
Easter.
like to torture inanimate chicken embryos that you feel superior to. Please tell me more about that.
This is not the Easter podcast.
Yeah, that's coming. Easter.
Nope.
Yeah.
There are Christmas. I know of a Christmas podcast that goes year round, so you could do it with
I-
Easter if you
year
wanted.
round?
Yeah, it's called Felice Navi Pod.
oh my God.
Tony Thaxton.
You
If
know,
you've
there's-
ever heard,
there's things that I will tolerate, and then there's things I won't. But I feel like the only way that podcast is justified is if it's in one of our touristy attractions in Gatlinburg. That's the Christmas shop that they
they could-
broadcast from every
they
day.
absolutely could.
Yeah, it's a little weird driving up and see the Christmas shop in June.
Yeah,
Yeah,
June.
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 Oh, has that got a drug punker on it?
That's what I was
June.
doing. June. Well, Landon, you know what the good thing about having people lined up before the store opened, having a captive audience was?
What's that?
They couldn't get away and we could interview
That's
them.
exactly what I was going to say. There's nowhere they can go.
So we did send Landon out, our man on the streets, or as I called him, our streetwalker, to go to go get a few interviews before some of what these folks got inside to get their free comics. So I've got that queued up. Let's go ahead and take a listen to those interviews.
Take it away, me. All right, we're hanging out here down here at Free Comic Book Day at Nerdvana Knoxville. This is Landon. I'm hanging out with
Dave.
Nathan. Jaden.
All right, thanks so much for talking to us, guys. I notice we're rocking some costumes, which is great for an audio format. I'll describe it. I see a Mandalorian, very well-known Mandalorian bounty hunter. Am I correct?
Correct.
Down here, I'm seeing Mr. J.
Yes.
And then you, I'm just seeing a bunch of question marks, so I'm left with...
The Riddler.
That would make sense, the Riddler. All right, so tell me what y'all like about Free Comic Book Day other than, the free books. They're pretty sweet.
I just like dressing up.
Absolutely.
Love the cosplay.
All right, so you're a big cosplayer. Do you get down to Dragon Con? Do you get to any of the conventions and cosplay down there? Or is it just something you love to do in your free time?
I actually just got back from Star Wars Celebration.
Very cool. So what'd you think about Celebration?
Oh, it was awesome. It was awesome. I hated the lines, but besides that, it was awesome.
Yeah, I'd imagine so. It's kind of the downside when it comes to the convention. So I assume these are your kids?
Yes.
Very cool. So talk about that. It's like you get to costume with your kids. How cool is that?
It's amazing. Just seeing them dress up and wanting to dress up, puts a smile on my face.
Very cool. Guys, what do you think about that? You're obviously rocking two iconic DC villains. Right over here, the Joker, one of the best characters ever made. What do you guys feel about that?
Good.
All right.
He don't know.
Hey, that's cool, man. When you look that awesome, you don't got to say anything. So what are you guys looking forward to getting in there? Is there one particular free book you're looking towards to getting, or is there a sale you're going to take part of?
He's trying to get
Guardians of the Galaxy.
There you go, Guardians. So have you seen the new Guardians movie?
No.
It's a good movie. It's some fun stuff. You'll enjoy it. So you're gonna get a new Guardians. What are you looking for, man?
I don't.
He's just looking.
Hey. That's the cool thing about Free Comic Book Day. It's free, so you can take whatever you want. Well, not anything you want, but you know what I'm saying.
Nah, I'm just seeing what's out there. I heard there's some Star Wars, so I'm going to check in on that.
Very cool. Well, guys, thanks so much for joining us. Have a great day, and happy Free Comic Book Day.
All right, you too, man.
Thanks, guys. Landon Doan, hanging out at Nerdvana Knoxville, Free Comic Book Day. Love is definitely in the air. I'm going to see if I can talk with some of these Ghostbusters, because we got Ghostbusters here. All right, Landon Doan down here at Free Comic Book Day at Nerdvana Knoxville, and I'm standing with
Jonathan Scott.
And Jason Dotson.
Thank you so much for agreeing to talk with me. The reason I came over is because you guys are decked out head to toe in some pretty sweet Ghostbusters costumes. So what was the process in putting these together? Because these look like movie legit.
Well, mine's actually a what they call a junk pack. I just took schematics offline and built it with cardboard and styrofoam, wood, metal, and then, of course, the light kits. I went through a couple different auto parts stores and ordered the strobes and the LED lights.
Mostly for mine, what I'm doing here is that I borrowed one of the other guys' packs because I haven't been able to build mine yet, but I've got one in the process working on it. One of the few that actually was fortunate enough to be able to order a pack, and we're all actually looking forward to getting our hands on it to try to build it and put it together and see what we can do. It's going to be a process, and with these guys, I started with them late last year, and as much stuff as I've done with these guys, I wouldn't want to do anything else because we're having a ball.
Very cool. Now, I notice it seems like it's a lot of putting together as opposed to like just buying straight off the internet. Is there a little bit more, pride in what you're wearing, knowing that you put this together with your own blood, sweat, and tears?
Absolutely. I mean, everything from the car to the packs, flight suits, everything we've pretty much hand built, and you have all kinds of pride in it because of that.
Well, there's been a lot of times too where recently when we did the light bars that we had it parked in a garage and ordered pizza, and our pizza guy got to see it, and he was pretty like, hey, what you got in there? And we're like, oh, well, that's just okay, go look at it. So he had a good time with it. So there's a lot of fun times with it too. But yes, there is a certain amount of pride of being able to do that with your hands and work on it. And when people come up and say, "Man, this looks really great," that just kind of fills you with that big ball of pride inside and saying, hey, what we're doing, even though it's coming out of our own pockets, it's making people smile and having fun, and it just, to coin a phrase, busting makes us feel good.
Well, you guys did reference the car. I got to talk about the car. You guys have an amazing looking Ecto 1. First of all, where did you find the car, and what was the process of turning it from just a regular car into Ecto 1?
Well, this is actually a 1990 Cadillac Fleetwood Brougham commercial chassis, which is a hearse. I found it off of Craigslist. It was spray painted solid black, and me and my son worked on sanding it down, cleaning the chrome off, and doing the paint job, and then had a guy at church help me build the rack, and the first set of light bars was just kind of luck upon, and the second set's absolutely awesome, and it turns heads when you're driving it.
Oh, I could imagine. So like y'all pull through like Mickey D's. Do you get like double and triple takes?
Yeah, it's 45-minute stop at a gas station. You just want to get fuel.
Countless pictures on the interstate.
On the interstate.
On the interstate, going to and from events. It's always pretty fun when somebody pulls up and you're like, why are they matching my speed? Then they pull up ahead of you and give you a big thumbs up out the window as they're going, and you see the guy next to them taking a picture as you're driving. It's pretty cool.
Now, you did mention conventions. I believe I've seen y'all at Fanboy locally. Do you guys go to any other conventions, or is it just like a Knoxville thing, or do you head down to like Dragon Con and stuff like that?
We haven't done Dragon Con yet. We did RobCon up in Bristol last year. We did the Hot Wing Festival out in Nashville last year. This year we're going to be doing Conapalooza, RobCon, Fanboy.
The Mini-Con out in Blount County.
All right, well, while we've been talking, I have noticed a Little Buster has just appeared. What's your name, man?
Nathan.
Nathan, and I see you're rocking the Cadet Ghost Corps button. So does that mean you're like in training?
Not quite.
Not quite there. All right. So I assume is this the son you were talking about working on the car with? Very cool. So like, what is it like to be able to do something like this with your dad?
Fun.
Fun. Very cool. So we are down here at Free Comic Book Day, where there are free comic books. Is there one particular book y'all are looking forward to getting, or are you just here for the festivities to take in?
We're here for the festivities, and we'll be leaving here in about 15 minutes or so to head up to Maryville for the Boogie on the River.
Oh, very cool. All right. Well, is there a place our listeners can find you on social media to catch like a calendar of events where they can come out and see your amazing costumes and sweet car?
Absolutely. Smoky Mountain Ghostbusters on Facebook, Knoxville Ecto 1 on Facebook, and then also Twitter is at Knoxville Ecto 1.
All right. Well, guys, thank you so much for agreeing to talk with me. And guess what? You get stickers. So, it's not for nothing.
Awesome. All right. I'm here with Landon from Nerd News Cafe.
Yeah, we're here together, and I'm here with Heather from Printed Panel Podcast. I mean, we're getting a little podcast in each other's podcast. Right. What's up with that?
It's awesome. So, yeah, please make sure to check out their podcast. Landon, what brought you out to Free Comic Book Day?
Obviously, I am, let's step over here so we don't get run over by a Harley Quinn, because that would be the way to go down on Free Comic Book Day. I'm out here because I've been, a nerd from day one. I grew up reading books, collecting the Marvel, cards and stuff like that, and it's just kind of weird in the last few years, what I grew up on is now cool and considered mainstream. So I'm taking part of it. So what brought you down here?
I actually started reading comic books about a year ago. I started dating a guy who read them all the time. And if I was going to go to the shop with him every month, I was going to find something that I wanted too.
There you go.
So I picked up Monstrous for the first time, and then the shopkeeper convinced me to read Saga and East and West, and my pull list is 60 titles now, so it's gone downhill ever since.
Yeah, I've been there. I think the most I ever had on a pull was that's going to be $150. It's every week.
Ouch.
Yeah. That's a beautiful thing about comics. It's a fun collectible, but at the same time, it can run into some money, but at the same time, it's much better than a drug habit. So.
That's true. That's true. It keeps you off the streets, kids.
Absolutely. Don't do drugs. Stay in school.
Read comics instead.
Exactly. So you mentioned that you're pretty I guess I want to say new to the game when it comes to reading comics. You mentioned East to West, you mentioned Saga. What other stuff are you into, or is there something you're in particular looking forward to getting today?
Today I'm really looking forward to the Lady Mechanica issue. I like the Lady Mechanica issues that come out every month, but I feel like their free comic book day issue is like above and beyond what they normally put out, so it's one of my favorite titles to grab. Normally I've really been into Pretty Deadly lately, and I just started reading the new Magdalena. It's I can't even remember who makes it now, but it is a super non-mainstream book. They're going to do a 12-issue run, so it's really good to see that character coming back. And I've been into the Royals series because Medusa, I love her hair. I have some major Medusa hair envy.
And what a head to be jealous of.
Right? The first issue, no spoilers, but she started losing some of her hair, and I almost cried.
Whoa!
Because I love my hair, and I could not imagine it falling out. I was really sad to see that. So now I'm completely hooked on that, having to get it every month to figure out what's going to happen to her hair. So, what about you? Some of your absolute favorite titles?
Right now, my favorite go-to title is going to be Marvel's Miss Marvel, because I love the character of Kamala Khan. I've said it on our podcast before. Kamala Khan and Miles Morales are two of my favorite characters of the recent comic book era, because it's like, don't get me wrong, I love Marvel, but it really does feel like we're just going to throw Wolverine into everything. And now it's Deadpool. I love Deadpool, but he's in literally everything now. Right. But it's like, I love the character of Kamala Khan and what they're doing with Miss Marvel, and how she is now a pretty prominent feature in the Marvel universe.
Yeah, I started picking up Marvel Presents, the trade paperbacks, and so she features one in every one of those, and I'm really interested in her story too. So, well, thanks for talking to us today.
Hey, absolutely. Be sure to check out Heather with
at the Printed Panel Podcast on Twitter.
At the Printed Panel Podcast on Twitter.
Where can we find yours?
You can find us nerdnewscafe.com, nerd_news_cafe on Twitter as well.
Awesome. Thank you so much.
Thanks so much. Have a great day.
You too.
Appreciate it. And here's a sticker.
Thank you.
So, guys, being that it's Free Comic Book Day, one of the things I wanted to talk to you all about is a little bit of a callback to something that Matt and I talked about back last summer.
Doubt I'll remember.
What you will remember.
Doubt it.
Bye. Some of our friends are leaving. Hasta luego. So one of the comic books that hit the racks this week is Secret Empire. Very controversial because Cap is kind of a treasured hero in that, you know, he stands for...
Another couch character in my mind.
He stands for freedom. He stands for America. All those values, of course, maybe those things are going out the window in modern day anyway. But as we predicted when we first heard about this storyline, that there was a chance that Cap was going to do a Hydra turn.
Yeah.
We figured that there was going to be some fan backlash, and there certainly has been.
They are not liking it. I mean, it's like, you know, I guess the only thing I can attribute it to is turning a World War II hero into a Nazi. I mean, that's exactly what's happened, and no one likes that.
And people are losing their effing minds.
Oh, dude. I mean, insanity.
But yeah, this the fan reaction really kind of reminds me of when Dan Slott, who was writing Spider-Man at the time, decided that, Peter Parker is going to swap his mind with Dr. Octopus. Right. So Dr. Octopus is going to be Spider-Man, and he went on to write Superior Spider-Man, and it's like, that was a fun story. And it's like, I understand why fans are upset, but at the same time, I view this as a temporary storyline thing.
It's a story arc. It's storytelling, you know, and we're talking about made-up characters.
Yeah.
You know, we were talking last week about, are there, you know, historical events that you couldn't touch with like a fantasy video game or something like that?
Yeah, true.
Well, we're talking about fantasy characters. You can tell that story any way you want to. It's not damaging some sort of a historical event. You know, and I know that people hold characters close to their hearts and they mean something to them. I get that. But you also have to trust that Marvel has been telling stories for a very long time, and this is a story arc. That's really all it is.
I guess I understand it. I mean, I get the whole backlash and the, you know, people being angry. And I think we talked to an individual a little while ago that was talking about how he dumped out of Spider-Man because he didn't like a certain arc. Yeah, the Doc arc.
Yeah, that was the case, actually.
Spider-Man,
And, you know, he just didn't want to be a part of it. And that's that's your choice, as you should. I mean, I can't tell you, how many times like video games have disappointed me, or maybe a TV series that disappointed me. I opt out. I mean, and that's fine. There's nothing wrong with that.
Check, please.
Check, please. And like he said, he came back.
Yeah.
Once you're done with that writing, I'm ready for the next. I'll be back.
So you can sit it out. Take a seat on the bench.
Take a knee.
Yeah, take a knee because you know that it's going to play out. McKay, you want to weigh in on this?
Yeah. Do you want to say something? Okay.
You want to? I think we might be able to.
Yeah, let's bring him on over.
So McKay is another podcaster in the area, and he's on a show called That Midday Show. Sorry about that, Landon. I just spilled Landon's coffee.
Actually, probably will mine read?
Yeah, give him yours.
Let's.
So we're bringing on an expert to speak
That's
on
right.
this subject.
The individual I was regarding to that I destroyed all his comments.
So his name is McKay. He's on a podcast called That Midday Show with another guy named Aaron, who will probably join us a little bit later. But
allegedly.
But for now, what we wanted to talk about was this whole concept of taking a treasured character and doing this kind of heel turn with them. And there's a lot of fan outrage over what's going on with Secret Empire. And you were talking earlier about how with Spider-Man, when they did the Doc Ock arc, that you just kind of checked out for a while.
Yeah, I mean it wasn't just that. That was the as they say, the final nail on the coffin. That was the.
See, I told you I would butcher his comment.
I was already getting in the.
There he is.
A lot of event fatigue and just the cost of books and.
Yep.
I'm not 20 anymore. There's not that much disposable income anymore.
What are you talking about?
Yeah, comic books are an expensive
You don't need a place
hobby.
to live. You don't need
a
vehicle.
There was the days when I was spending literally almost 70% of my paycheck on books on Wednesday.
I get that.
Yep.
I get that.
Those days are over. Those are so far past I don't even see them anymore.
Yeah,
so the rear view is we're out of range.
Yeah, you reached that point.
But you do. I've checked out before. There were times, when life gets in the way and you've got other priorities, and you check out for a while and you come back. I think that's true about any kind of fandom.
It's true.
It is.
You come back and look around and say, "Hey, watch this," or
it's all right.
You're fine. You're fine.
What's this stuff like? What's this stuff like now? But yeah, I was a little mad. I was already aggravated about the price of things, and I was like. I was down to just Spider-Man.
Yeah.
And I'm like, well, there goes that.
There goes that. So for you, there were other factors. Like if they had done the Doc Ock story arc, that might not have been the thing that sent you off of it by itself.
But But I think eventually there's only. That being said, there's only so much eventually you can take.
Yeah, true.
That is true.
And something you said a minute ago before while I was just listening.
Yeah.
Was when you said. Marvel's been making stories for a long time, but I remember the 90s.
Yeah.
There was a good chunk of that long time where it wasn't any good.
Fair point.
And I'm a Marvel guy.
Yeah.
But yeah, the mid-90s were rough for everything.
Yeah, the whole Captain America Reborn stuff, just ugh. And even the art in the 90s, just outside of Jim Lee and his awesome X-Men splash covers, it's very dated. You can feel the 90s when you read them.
Oh yeah, what Marvel did is Marvel worse than DC, but what Marvel did in the 90s, it felt like we're going to spend all the money on these chromium covers, these shiny, blinking light covers.
I fell for it. I bought all of those covers.
Yep.
Anything.
Yep. I still remember the issue where Spider-Man wears the metal glass armor.
Yeah. I have that.
Time to fight the Rose or something.
Spider-Man 100.
I have that.
Green cover. I know
too.
exactly what you're talking about. Now, see, this is my problem, fellas. I think this is a lot of our problems, is that I've got all of this information in my head, and I eventually had to find some way to make some use of it.
That's right. So that's a good segue. So tell us about the show that you're on.
Yeah, tell us about the show.
We are That Midday Show. This is actually Aaron who created it.
Hey, Aaron. He's waving.
He's waving at us.
A visual.
Even as a host doesn't quite have the concept of radio down yet. He's waving at us. I'm just teasing Aaron. Anyway, That Midday Show, we actually kind of call it a popcast.
Okay.
We're going pop culture, so
very cool.
We kind of call it That Midday Show popcast. But yeah, we cover a lot of things.
So your show features a lot of conversation about pop vinyls.
We should. Well, they're everywhere now.
They are.
I know.
And they cover all of pop culture.
I have a pop vinyl
single
myself.
facet everywhere.
Yeah.
Eventually, they're going to make pops of pops.
Yeah.
Pop
Isn't that what mini pops are?
Well, we're going to keep going. They're going to be like the micro universe.
Hey, as long as they bring back the Micro Machine guy, I'm okay with
Wait,
it.
this is going to be like a Doritos Locos Tacos Doritos eventually. Is that you're going to have pop vinyls that inspire a show, and then they'll make pop vinyls based on the pop vinyl show?
That's exactly right.
Popception.
Just remember, fellas, pop culture just keeps eating itself. That's the way it works.
Yeah.
If one thing works for somebody, then there's going to be 5,000 other people do the same thing.
Oh, absolutely.
And then it's going to fall out and not be popular anymore, and then it's going to be something else, and then that's going to come back around again.
It's all cyclical.
Yes, around and around.
Yeah.
Around it goes.
Yeah.
Well, see, the secret to it is what really causes that. The nostalgia kicks in is once it's the stuff we couldn't get when we were kids.
Yeah.
Yeah,
or
exactly.
our connection to being kids.
You're right.
And we don't have access to money because we're kids. And then...
And our parents
good
hated
money.
us and wouldn't
And
give
then
us the
we're
stuff we wanted.
30 and 40 and there's money to be spent, and we look back and we're nostalgic about those days, and that's where the collecting universe gets us right there.
Yeah.
Oh, absolutely.
Because I know dudes, I have a friend of mine that was obsessed with the USS Flag, the G.I. Joe, the
aircraft carrier?
yeah.
the aircraft carrier.
Yeah.
Begged for it as a child. Begged for it. And they were like,
Yeah,
No, that's not happening today.
you're never getting that. And 30-something years old, it cost him a lot.
Yes.
But he went and found one online. And
By
bought it.
golly, he got
That's
it.
what he wanted. I mean,
And that is collecting, and that is in a microcosm what it's when people say, the things of, that's kid stuff. Well, it comes back around.
Yeah.
It really does.
And then as it comes back around and we start spending money on it again, then the companies go, oh, that's popular again, and there it comes around again.
Yeah.
We
That's right.
kind of it's self-perpetuated.
And
We spend it around.
and nostalgia sells. Yeah, I mean, it will always sell.
So where can people find that midday show?
That's we've got our website, thatmiddayshow.com. We've got all our old episodes on there. Here lately, we've and you'll see a difference going back when we were a little more comedy based before. So the pop culture theme has really just been in the last how many episodes or so, Aaron? 10, 15 by now. Something like that.
Okay.
But we've got some celebrity interviews. If you go back, you can find things like Jonathan Stark from Friday Night.
Nice.
John St. John's voice of Duke Nukem.
Kick ass. That was a pretty good one.
Little smaller interviews from a horror convention I went to. So we got Felissa Rose from Sleepaway Camp and Mark Patton from Nightmare on Elm Street 2. And
cool.
Mark Steiger, that was the Demogorgon from Stranger Things.
Oh, cool.
Wow.
And Billy Bryan, that was Stay Puft, the
Yeah.
puppet for Stay Puft. So those are little 3 and 4 minute.
Cool.
Because we didn't want to take up people's time.
well, those guys have usually got the best stories too.
Oh man, Billy Bryan. If you take the time to go find that episode, the Mad Monster Party episode, he just breaks out. We asked him what some of the other characters he's done, and he breaks out into this song that he has come up with. This rhyming, lyrical song that goes through all of the things he's done in his career, and we're just all
That's
jaw
awesome.
dropped. Like, what just happened?
Yeah, it's like we were recording, right?
But I appreciate you fellas letting me come on.
Oh, sure.
Absolutely.
Thanks for doing it, man.
And, you have to have yins on and see what kind of mischief we can get into on our
That sounds
Oh,
like a
yeah.
lot of fun.
Yeah.
We'll do it. Thanks, sir.
Excited about that.
Appreciate it, man.
Oh, look at it. Look at that. Look at this person. I have cited the
If you had seen her, I
elusive.
think she would have done this all the way in and snuck in.
It's the elusive Cassie. Hello, Cassie. How are you?
Hi.
Welcome to Free Comic Book Day.
Yay.
We can feel the excitement.
Sorry, I'm still like half asleep.
Yeah,
That's
because we are broadcasting somewhat early, even for us.
This is not early for me.
It is for
4 a.m. That's early.
You have a baby. So
I do.
Yep.
That's the haggard look you see in my face. Not Merle Haggard, but actual, without energy.
Cassie, what are you excited about picking up today?
I don't know. I just want to check out what they got.
Well, they got a lot of free.
There's a
comic
lot.
books.
There's a lot of stuff in there.
I know.
Oh,
I mean,
she can get your Rick and Morty.
Yeah, make sure and get the Rick and Morty comic if they still have it.
okay.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm new to comics, so
It's a good day to get in.
Just here to explore.
Okay, I think this is a good day to do it. That's a good point. Free Comic Book Day is a good day for people to jump in.
Absolutely. You don't have the financial, response or tie to buying a comic, where you just come on down, hey, get some stuff.
Thank you all for listening to part 1 of our Free Comic Book Day live event. Come back Thursday for part 2, and next week we'll round out Tuesday and Thursday with parts 3 and 4. I hope you enjoyed what you heard. Continue to interact with us on social media. Our Twitter account is @nerd_news_cafe. You can find us on Facebook, Nerd News Cafe. We have a website, nerdnewscafe.com. We're on YouTube. We're on Stitcher. We're on iTunes. We're out there. Rate and review us. Tell your friends. The best thing you can do for a podcaster, if you're enjoying what they do, is spread the word and encourage other people to listen. And as always, interact with us, guys. We love hearing from you, and we love continuing the conversation through the week when we're not set up and recording our shows. So thanks again for listening. Tune in again Thursday, and we will continue to drop those audio nuggets that we picked up from Free Comic Book Day. Thanks, guys. Bye.